Hi, this is Jonathan Tolo from Made by Tolo, and here is my Highway Cowl. I love this Highway Cowl. I think it's really cool, and you know I love brioche, so that could be why. This cowl has brioche as well as a double knitting stripe that creates the highway. And to really make it match your highway hat, which has the same techniques of brioche and the double knitting technique, but has a folded brim, we are going to make a folded hem to make it match. And this hem, of course, needs to be stitched down, and therefore I'm going to show you now how to do it. Simple, but really effective, because you want to have the nice stretch to it. The highway cowl is knitted with a provisional cast on, the ribbing, and then we have a decrease section before the brioche part, and then an increase section before the second ribbing part. That means the stitches will not add up from your ribbing to the brioche, and therefore you need to make certain you are looking at the correct rows when you are stitching this down. Always block your project before stitching, because you know the ribbing section will be a little bit tighter than it is now for me because I've blocked mine. And if it is too tight, you might be tempted to stitch too tight as well. So try to avoid that by blocking your project before stitching it down. And I'm going to show you now how to do it. Okay, start by turning your work inside out. And you will have, of course, this ribbing section down to here, and now we're going to stitch this down. So you want to stitch to the last row of ribbing or the first row of brioche. And when you're done, it should look something like this. You will have a knit row, which is the stitches, if you use the same technique as me. And then you will have these purl bumps. And I think it looks pretty neat. So you can wear this inside out if you want as well. The magic of brioche. So I made a small swatch for you to show you this technique. And I also have another colored yarn, but you will of course use the same color as you have for the ribbing section. And as you can see here, you will have the same loops as you would from a knit row, and each stitch is worked twice. So this stitch is worked twice, once from the back and once from the front, and then each horizontal stitch is also worked twice, as you can see, once going down and once going up. So to make sure you always work each stitch twice, it's easier to have the stitch on the needle if you're not done with it, and then when you're done with it, you take it off. So you're going to start with going from the purl side in the first stitch, as I've done with this one. So if it's your first stitch, you will not have any threads in it, so just go from the purl side, which I call from the back. Then you will work this up the horizontal ridges. And the only thing you want to make sure is that your purl stitches from the ribbing go above their own corresponding knit rows from the back side. And otherwise you can stitch wherever you want to in this horizontal ridge. You can use this one, 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 and so on. But try to make sure that, or you need to make sure that the horizontal or the purl rows go over the corresponding knit rows on the back side. So again, from the back, as I'm gonna knit purlwise and then go up. And if you on the first stitch, you just go up the first horizontal row you see. Otherwise, you're going to go up to the same one as you went down through before. So up and down anywhere. I'm going to use this one. Don't overthink this. It's not rocket science. Up and down. And then we're going to go from the knit side, which I call in. And then we're done with the stitch, so I can take it off the needle. And then out on the next stitch. Only worked once, not done, so I'm going to go up again on the other side. Up and down. And as you can see, I'm going to go through the brioche stitch, doesn't really matter. But the only thing I want to make sure is that this purl stitch that I'm working now is over the knit row. So up and down. Then again in from the knit side of the needle and out. In and out, and then again up and down. In and out. In, off and out. Up and down. In, off and out. Again, purl stitch. Knit row. Up. The same one as before. And down into any horizontal stitch really. In and out and continue on. And as you can see now, we have these yellow loops going up and down, which creates a nice stretch. And if you mimic the same gauge as you did for the ribbing, it will look neat and not like me with these big bumps, and you can wear your project inside out. Good luck!